Hello everyone, this is Troy from etplay.info. I am here to do a little intro for the video, which is of course a interview with DJArcas, or also known as the creator of ForgeCraft, which is an indie game for Xbox Live, which you can buy for 240 points as of right now. And of course this interview is a partnership of course with rct.tiltcat.com, which as a lot of you know, I am on a course podcast with L every other week. And we had the opportunity to sit down with DJArcas, speaking over ForgeCraft, Microsoft, and other random things that the conversation filed into, while along with some unknown secrets that he haven't shared anywhere but with us. But just before we get to the episode, just so you know, we did have a little bit of audio difficult settings here and there. So please do not mind a little bit of background noise and a little bit of echo also in the background. We do our best to edit it, and we appreciate it if you still give it a listen and enjoy the podcast and the interview overall and learn some more insight about ForgeCraft. So without me dragging it down any farther, here is an interview from me and Joe, and of course our new buddy DJArcas.
Welcome to the Royal Canadian Tiltsman, and we are going to be doing an interview with the creator of ForgeCraft, DJArcas, and he was kind enough to join us on a nice Skype conversation. So, me, Joe, Troy, and DJArcas. Hello.
Once again, I'd like to thank you for actually taking up on this and joining up for that little debate.
Yeah, you're more than welcome. As long as you're nice, as long as you're nice, it's not a problem.
That's okay. You got one Canadian here. We're more than polite.
I've been to Canada. They're a lovely group of people. Very, very nice.
Thank you. I guess I'm gonna start us off here. So ForgeCraft. I mean, come on. Just me and Troy have been blabbering about this stupid game for like the last few weeks. It was on my last year's top 10 list for games of the year that I played.
What number was it?
Now I gotta remember what number it was. I think 3.
Oh, pretty good.
I remember 3. I try and play like as much as I can, but I don't like to give like I mean, come on, just like Skyrim was 1. That was like a no-brainer. But no, like I downloaded your little game, and I was just kind of expecting Minecraft or something. And I'm not a big PC gamer. And next thing I knew, I was 30 hours in, and I had a crazy world with a vineyard. And a winery and a giant tree, which I built before I got the jetpack.
Oh man, really?
Yup. Oh. I made some crazy arse frickin' scaffolding to make that tree.
You know, there's a jetpack in the game. I put it in there to try and make people's life a little bit easier. Maybe.
Alright, okay, then I'm gonna start this off. Why do you make us hunt down, like, all these relics right off the bat?
A lot of that is, it's human nature. If people feel there's stuff to accomplish, they like to go accomplishing it. If you're determined, it will take you maximum, I do mean maximum, half an hour to locate all the relics. It's not really very difficult. I've made it slightly easier, and in the next patch I've made it even easier still, but that little treasure hunt thing did help out quite a lot. So I look at the game, it's like presenting you with a blank canvas in Notepad, in MS Paint, just saying, draw something. What ForgeCraft does is says, hey look, go and look for some stuff. And when you're doing the looking, you're getting used to the controls, you're getting used to how to build, you're getting used to how to look around. So when you've found a few relics, then hopefully you're a bit more au fait with the controls.
I know the first thing I sent Troy on is, I'm like, make a flatland and then go find stuff.
Yep, and that's what I did for about a couple
You
of
have
minutes.
no idea how tempted I was to say, if flatland, then relics do not appear. I was so tempted, but I thought, hang on a bit, so if you play something like Warcraft, they try very hard to stop you doing things like that. To my opinion, hunting the relics is a part of the game enjoyment, but if you're not interested in that, I don't feel I should go out of my way to stop you finding alternative ways of finding it. So people say to me, hey, if you press F1, everything goes wireframe and you can see through the road and find relics. I'm like, yeah, I know. Go, you should fix this. I'm like, well, you know, if you want to cheat, go for it. No, I'd rather you found the relics and you were happy than you sat there banging your head going, oh, I really wish there was an easier way to do this. And flatland, that's the sort of the common way of getting the relics quickly.
Actually, I think you'd be a little bit surprised. It took Troy a little bit longer to find them, because for some reason, when I was in the flatland world with him, they won't spawn.
Yeah,
or at least not as frequently.
Yeah, and then when you left,
they should have... they should all spawn every time. Like, every relic you've not collected exists in the world somewhere, every time. Or I've got a bug, you know, we do have a few bugs, I'm afraid.
I guess that's another question I got for you there is, why did you end up choosing XBLA as opposed to just a straight PC release? It seems that, like, the limitations of the Xbox 360 would hinder the construction of such an open-world game as this.
Well, I think the first thing is I wish it was XBLA. It's XBLIG, so I don't get access to any of the cool stuff. The way you phrase it's interesting. You kind of made it like I set out to do this. The two main reasons this game turned up is, first of all, a voxel engine is one of those cool technical challenges that people like to do. It's a second-year computer science graduate thing. You know, stuff like like ray tracing or A-star root finding algorithms. People love to do these, and voxel rendering is something I always wanted to do and never got around to. I got into an argument on the Minecraft forums that a Minecraft-style game would not be possible on the Xbox, and I said to them, no, I said to them, look, it'd be perfectly possible. You need to worry about this, you need to sort this out, you know, you need to do a whole bunch of things, and it would run great, run really well. And they're like, no, it wouldn't. I'm like, well, this is kind of what I do for a living. Trust me, okay? This is my area of expertise. And the phrase that made it all kick off is like, lol noob, you know nothing. I was like, right, okay. It took me about 3 days to get basic avatar rendering, basic networking, and basic landscape. And then I posted it back in the thread going, there you go. And the guy just went, oh, that's fake. I was like, I don't really know what to do at this point. I was like, no, here's some more pictures. I'll just grab some pictures. And he's like, I can even see where you've cut out around the avatar from like a website and pasted it on. And I was like, how do I convince you this is real? He's like, do a video. I don't have a PVR or anything like that, so I ended up recording the video of Fortress Craft. The first one is on my phone, so I had to point at the Xbox, then point at the screen, hit the guide button to prove it wasn't a fake, and then filmed a network character running around on the Xbox. And at that point, I'd won. And really, the reason Fortress Craft is on the Xbox is so I could win an argument. And from then I got such a response, both positive and very negative, that I was like, well, you know, Steam Heroes, my previous game, sank without a trace. Shipped like 130 copies in the first year. So just the fact people were talking about the game, you know, whether it was good or bad, really inspired me to carry on and to make sure it got released and seen to its finish.
So I think you just, like, inadvertently answered another one of my bloody questions, which was, like, why the Xbox Avatar?
Oh, come on, Xbox avatars are cool. They are.
Oh, no, I love being able to, like, run around as, like, a frickin' stormtrooper or whatever crazy outfit I have on in this crazy, blocky world.
Well, I mean, your other option is to go with sort of the Minecraft-style avatars, which, let's face it, they are shit. They are absolutely shit. And you're stuck with everyone looking the same. They're all 6 boxes joined together. Whereas, I mean, people say to me, you should do your own avatar system. And I point out that Microsoft have invested millions and millions of dollars into this incredibly flexible avatar system that has tens of thousands of items you can wear, and nothing that I could ever do as poor little me writing my game would ever come close. So, you know, it was just the natural thing to do, is to put avatars on, which are cool.
Okay, so on that, you have a little man and he runs around in your game.
Yeah,
Who is he?
Yeah, you look very similar to the dude in Minecraft.
Okay, so I'm trying to figure out how much to give away. So the idea of that character, I guess if the time has gone. So the idea of that character, he's internally called the Wanderer, he was there to play off a bit the legend of Herobrine. As you probably know, Herobrine is a character that is not in Minecraft. You make that very clear. Herobrine is something that is not in Minecraft. So I decided to put something like Herobrine that kind of plays along the same lines as that myth. So basically, he's a character who's in your world, and he runs away. He runs around and he does stuff. I put a lot of it in just to see what people would say. People talk about it. People say to me, "Where's Herobrine in the game?" And I'm like, "What's Herobrine?" "It's a thing that's in Minecraft." I'm like, "No, it's not. It's a thing that's not in Minecraft." But the real reason he went in is because I was testing out the first iteration of the PC version avatar code. And so I had this guy running around, and I was like, I might as well just leave a guy running around, because he looks kind of cool. So he might become more of a character as time goes on. He might end up actually being like your companion in the world. I haven't quite sussed it, but when I come across the finalizing split screen, it's very likely that the split screen character will be the Wanderer. So he'll turn up as the second person playing on your Xbox with you.
Oh, that made perfect sense, because me and Joe both have been many times chasing him down to trying to figure out what he was.
You can. I tried. I've worked so hard to make sure he is not chaseable. It took bloody ages, that did, because I kept like catching you up and I had to fix that. And he veers and he tries to hide behind stuff, and yeah, obviously he disappears and stuff.
So another thing is he never shows up when you're wearing a jetpack, I noticed.
Yes. Isn't that strange?
It's weird, because I remember most of my construction time I'm always on a jetpack, and then all of a sudden Troy comes on when I introduce him to the game, and he's like, who's this dude running around? I'm like, what dude? There's a dude?
To be honest, I think it worked well because I introduced it quietly. I didn't want to talk about it, and I have expressly not posted anything on the internet about it. You know, people say, what's this guy? And I'm like, what guy? What? Is there a guy? The best thing is he's not network synced. So I've seen people arguing, going, there's a guy here. No, there isn't. Look, I'm following a guy. I didn't see a guy. Well, he's here. You're making it up. And it's great seeing people play off this. It's kind of a bit like the Portal thing, where they don't quite tell you what's going on, and it lets the player's imagination roam rather than explicitly saying, here's a guy, his name is John, his purpose is to do this. It kind of ruins that sort of thing. And Fortress Craft, wherever I can, is a game about letting the player take control, about letting the player do what they want to do, and not necessarily about me spoon-feeding them how they should play it and how they should go about doing stuff.
Yeah.
I'm old, I get so hacked off of games going, great, now turn left, well done. Now, let's talk about jumping. You're like, oh god, I know, I'm not an idiot. So, hopefully you found the tutorial in Fortress Craft unannoying, and you'd like to praise it at this point because it was so awesome.
Yeah, we didn't have much problem with it, but also I had Joe tell me what to do every 5 minutes, so that also helped.
Oh, believe me, man, it's still not as bad as me trying to play frickin' Terraria, where I have to have a wiki open while I'm playing. It's like, no, I need to just be able to play a game.
In the end, I did love Terraria, but I got Terraria and I played it and I went, what is this? This is shit. This is utterly shit. It doesn't look very good. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm so bored digging into stuff. And I said, yeah, fuck this. This game is shit. And I posted on my Twitter going, what the hell is everyone talking about Terraria? This game is a big pile of just bollocks. A guy called Steve, he said, look, I think you come join my server and I'll show you how to play. I'm like, this game's shit. And he goes, just give it an hour. So he put me in it, and I'm like, hang on, why have you got people living in houses? It was like, you have to build houses. I'm like, how the fuck was I supposed to... What's a house? You know, a house is this, and it has to have these things. Okay. And then he's like, oh, don't go digging, because that's boring. And he explained the game to me, and he showed it to me, and I was like, wow, this game is really good. I mean, I put like 40, 50 hours, maybe even more, into Terraria now. But, you know, I'd almost given up on it. It's just, I hate this game. So... yeah, it's a good example. I mean, they've released it as a box product now, which I can't believe, unless there's a proper tutorial in. To me, that's wrong. I mean, it's like Minecraft. The game's very good, but only if someone tells you how to play it. Otherwise, it's just horrible.
Sometimes I think that it's a game that thinks it's too smart for the player. I mean, it's not Portal. It doesn't naturally evolve its way through gameplay.
Yeah. I'll have to correct myself. I put 123 hours into Terraria, so quite a lot. Yeah. That's something that Fortress Craft is a bit guilty of, and I am continually fixing it in successive patches, is trying to make the game more user-friendly and easier. So things like the workshop locator weren't in the early patch. People would say, hey, how do I create the micro blocks? And I was like, we'll go to the workshop. What's the workshop? And I'm like, you know, I've kind of messed it up. But now you get the teleporter, so you can then go to and from the workshop easily. So, you know, it's getting better, but, you know, it's something that I am guilty of. creating seamless in-game tutorials that are not incredibly annoying is very hard. And it's certainly something the AAA industry is failing miserably at, so I don't feel too bad I haven't quite made it.
Well, I have a question. As far as like the tutorials and stuff, and not realizing stuff in the game to somebody explain it to you, as I was playing with Joe, he started telling me about like console commands and making blocks and everything. And like I was telling him after messing with that for a little bit, the game doesn't seem as heavily on the game side. It seemed more like a modding tool like you would see on like any PC game. And I was wondering, on the outset of making this, was that an idea to make it, well, you would let your fan build their own types of game with your engine, or do you have planned to actually make it more gamey later on?
Well, initially, one of the things I didn't want to do was to write Minecraft. And I mean, a million other people said, oh my god, you just stole everything from Minecraft. And I was like, dude, if I was going to steal stuff from Minecraft, the second video I showed would have had a mob running towards you exploding. That wasn't where I wanted to go. Where I wanted to go was a very different path. So if you're a PC game, you're a fan of Gary's World, you kind of know that you don't need a game to have fun. So currently, and I say for the foreseeable future, but you'd be amazed how much this changes, Fortress Craft is geared up as a massively multiplayer, three-dimensional art package, which is something Minecraft has never been. So Minecraft has always been a game about survival, a game about fighting creatures, and really it's a poor man's Oblivion, and you happen to be able to build giant things in it. Though if you're actually playing the game as the game, the game doesn't reward you for building a big structure. In fact, as someone pointed out, if you make a hole in Minecraft 2 meters by 1 meter and you roll yourself in, great, you've completed the game. No one can ever kill you. So Fortress Craft has gone down the creative route. Stuff like copy and paste, stuff like the diggers and the builders, stuff like the custom blocks. It's very much geared towards, at this point, being creative. And I've still got a long way to go on that. So people are asking me for like additions to the copy and paste system. People would like, there's a guy called Goose. He keeps asking me to make it so we can hollow out large areas instantly. Just basically allowing a person who doesn't have that much time to create something that's really awesome, and for those people with a lot of time who want to create something that's absolutely amazing, they can do it quickly and then go on to do even more amazing things. I'm trying to raise the bar with what's possible. I would like to sort of to make it so the game is, say, antagonistic towards the player in some way, but two or three things are stopping me. One of them is quite simple. It's one of the few games that's not about being destructive. The game is entirely about being creative, and pretty much the only other game I can say that about is Little Big Planet. And I see Little Big Planet as my competitor much more than Minecraft. Minecraft is so down a different path of what the game is about, regardless of how similar the rendering engine is. I also have a lot of, I'm going to put it delicately, a lot of people who contact me saying how much they like it because they can play it. I've had one guy with like a motor neuron disease, another guy, he's a disabled veteran who said he used to paint when he was younger, and he was in Iraq, or I think it was Iraq, and he had a wound there, and he doesn't have the motor skills. But he said when he played Fortress Craft, it's the first game he's played in a very long time where he can take his time. There's no falling damage. Take as long as you like to do it, and the game doesn't badge you or hurry up or saying, hey, look, something's attacking you. And I'd like to not lose vision not lose sight of that vision of Fortress Craft. I mean, for all the abuse I get for being too much like Minecraft, the other half of the people shouting at me is, make it more like Minecraft. And I very much resisted the urge and just told people, look, if you want to play Minecraft, play Minecraft. Once you've killed the dragon, great, game completed, and come back and you can carry on creating your amazing world in Fortress Craft. For the future, I've got a lot of plans, but I've got about, 30 years of plans. So that we've got some game modes, but it looks like, if I was to put my finger in the air and give my best guess, it looks like the game is evolving towards cooperative tower defense within the Fortress Craft engine. There's going to be a versus element. I suspect it's going to be very much tower defense based, because I love tower defense more than anything else.
And I get that bring to my next question about all the new stuff getting up to that point. for every chapter moving forward, is it going to be like standalone game, DLC, or just free updates?
So the whole chapter idea was kind of based on the fact that most games sell within 6 weeks and that's it, they're gone. Fortress Craft has an incredibly unusual sales tail, so the game is still selling very well, and something that I don't think anyone's really sort of stopped to think about. I'm working now on the 9th patch. I've planned for the 10th patch. It's been a year since the game came out. More than that, it's been 13 months now. It's a $3 game, and I'm still adding features to it, and I'm still patching it, and it's still free. And a lot of people said to me, "Hey, when are you going to work on Chapter 2?" And I'm like, "Do you not want the free stuff from Chapter 1?" And they're like, "Oh, but Chapter 2 would be better." I'm like, "Yeah, but then I had to stop on Chapter 1." I still am not happy with the game. I still, although it's definitely worth the $3, there's so many things I'm still not like about Chapter 1, but I wouldn't feel right just saying, right, okay, that's Chapter 1 done. You can just all disappear for 3 months while you start on Chapter 2. So Chapter 2 is definitely there, it's definitely planned. There's a bunch of Google documents between me and some friends where we've come up with so many ideas. And Chapter 2, if I could just release it, what's in my mind, it would be brilliant. But, with the best will in the world, it's 6 months to a year's work. And that means I would need to stop on Chapter 1 for 6 months, and that means I couldn't do any of my other projects for 6 months. I don't think that's fair on people. Not with the state the game's in right now.
I do have to say, from just somebody who has been destroyed by games like, oh, here's 80 Microsoft points, or 200 Microsoft, or 600 Microsoft points for these add-ons, and all they are freaking color swaps and shit like that. Thank you very much for free patches.
Well, I have to say, when I did I think it's the second patch, maybe the first patch of Fortress Craft, I added in 16 new blocks. I met quite a few people going, "Oh, how much will this cost?" And I was like, "Well, it's free. Would you pay for new blocks?" And they're like, "Yeah, I'd probably pay $1." I was like, "Wow, EA, Ubisoft, Activision, they have really brainwashed people into accepting that you should pay for stuff that you kind of should give them for free, but." Not even then. I played Saints Row 3 recently. I played it through co-op, and the game is still really buggy. And I was like, but you've released all this DLC, you've made all this money, why have you abandoned that game? And the answer is very simple. It's not financially viable to continue working on it. If I was in this for the money, as I have been accused of a million times, I wouldn't be still working on it. I'm working on this game because I love it, and I'm working on this game because I really love the community, and it blows me away what people make in the game. And some of the very best builders, I've got them on Skype. They'll say to me, "Hey, look, we need this feature." Like one person called Genzi, she's been talking to me recently. She wants some modifications to copy paste. Now, these aren't things I would have ever have thought of. I play the game to a very low level because I don't have the time to invest. But these awesome builders, they want these cool stuff and they want more. And I feel that I've helped to make so much money from this game that it's my responsibility to continue to develop and polish it and improve it until it's done, or until I cannot sensibly continue to work on it because I would end up on the street. One of the two.
So there is like an out-of-pocket cost for you releasing these patches, right? Is it the same framework with having to go through Xbox Live as like a regular disc game, or?
No, not at all. No, so there's no direct cost. The cost is, if I work on Fortress Craft, I don't work on something else. My next game might be Angry Birds 2. I might be looking at $500 million. It's just that question of, it's impossible to gauge. I might be better off working on Fortress Craft and continuing to get the sales and the support. I might be better off working on a new game. It's impossible to say, but I feel that Fortress Craft is still so popular and still sells well. I feel it'd be wrong to just stop it. People would still buy it, and if I stop developing, people still buy it for the next 6 months. I don't feel that would be fair on the people who bought it in 6 months' time, because there's stuff I can do to fix it.
So I want to get to one of the points that you made during the last few things you said, and that is that we've been basically brainwashed to pay for DLC for games. Do you figure when Minecraft finally does come out for Xbox Live Arcade that people are going to see it and they will have already spent the little amount of money to purchase Fortress Craft, Castle Miner, Total Miner, all these other indie games that are basically box creators, and they're going to look at Fortress Craft on XBLA and go, why do the graphics look shitty? And then they're going to go, here's the HD texture pack for 600 points.
Now that would be interesting, because if they actually did do that officially, I would hope that Notch just pissed the very tattered remnants of his reputation up the wall. I mean, they've always gone down this blocky look, and as I have pointed out in blog posts and things, the reason Minecraft looks blocky, the textures, nothing to do with style. Get that right out of your head. It is a technical limitation that took me 2 weeks to overcome, 2 weeks tearing my hair out. The reason Minecraft looks at us is because Notch, bless him, is a shit programmer and doesn't know how to make things look good. It is not down to style. But with Minecraft, I mean, it's already 1,600 points. I mean, Jesus Christ. Well, I mean, the point I've made is Fortress Craft is not as good as Minecraft. Fine. Total Miner is not as good as Minecraft. Fine. Castle Miner Z is not as good as Minecraft. Fine. All those 3 games added together are only 720 Microsoft points. Are you telling me that Minecraft is 2.5 times better than all 3 of those games? I don't fucking think so. But
I always loved it going through the wikis where it said, if you want this kind of game, you buy this. If you buy this, or you want this kind of game, you buy this. If you want this kind of game, you buy this. Or you can just buy Minecraft, but you're going to be spending this much more.
Well,
I look as pretty.
So Minecraft does have a big following, but the majority of that is amongst the older set. I am very interested to see if the kids, the 14-year-old boys, the Halo fans, the Gears of War fans, games that, quite frank, look fucking stunning. Are they going to play Minecraft and go, Because the interesting thing about Minecraft that few people realise is it has no demo. You have this early creative crappy thing that no one talks about that. There's no demo of Minecraft. Now, one of the requirements on XBLA is you've got to have a demo. So, how is it going to sell? Is it going to, because most people I know who've played Minecraft, they played it, they've treated buying it as a demo, and they've gone, that wasn't very good. Well, I can play it for 10 minutes, or whatever. So, it's going to be very interesting to see whether or not it sells okay on the Xbox. I suspect it won't sell as well as other platforms. For the simple reason, so that the Xbox kids are geared towards super gorgeous games. And Minecraft, for all of its strengths, and it certainly does have strengths, looking good is really not one of them. Plus, let's be honest, it's also only got 8-player support. It's got a whole bunch of things that's actually worse than most of the clones. It actually scores, less highly. So it's going to be very interesting to see what actually happens when it comes out.
Have you played any of the other, how do I put this, any other games? No, not so much voxel games, but anything like Halo Reach's level editor, or like the Trials level editor to get ideas for things to add in, kind of go outside of the box.
I haven't played. It's Halo Forge, isn't it? Or the Forge editor, or the Forge something, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like Forge World.
Yeah, that's it. Because there's a guy called Butcher Boyd's Homer, who is probably one of the best, if not the best, Fortress Craft builders out there. And he used to do a lot of that. And he is the one who says, "Hey, Adam, you should fix this and change this," and "Hey, DJ, you should add and change this." And I listen to those people a lot because I don't have the time. I can play with the Forge editor going, yeah, okay, that's cool, but I don't have time to invest to get to a point where I'm good enough to know what is good enough to copy and to use. I haven't played Trials. I got bored of Trials about 15 years ago when it was called Elastomania. So the whole, hey, look at this game with the motorbikes and the physics, it's like, yeah, I played that when I was like 15, it's fine. You play it, it's fine. So I've not tried that one.
And the problem is with me is I am at heart I am a creator, and I just love anything that allows me to have almost unlimited control in creating stuff. And in recent years, that has been the level editor for Halo Reach, and more recently Trials. And
Little Big Planet then? That sounds right up your alley.
I don't do PS3. I don't.
You should do. If you get a PS3, it plays Blu-rays and Little Big Planet and God of War. And
But I want to talk to my friends.
But you don't need that. That's optional. You can get that if you pay extra PlayStation Plus.
I have played it. I'm actually more interested in, on the PS3 side of level editors, I'm actually more interested in possibly getting my hands on Little Big Planet 2, or Mod Nation Racers had a very interesting level editor in there too. I'm actually really curious because one of the things, I'm going to bring this up in the podcast when we record too, is one of the things I noticed about the Trials editor is it's like they didn't pay attention to any editor that's come before it because the camera controls suck. And I'm constantly fighting the camera to line stuff up.
In Race Driver Grid, we had it wasn't. It was Burnout. In Burnout, we had a fly-around camera, and no one, because it was a debug camera, no one could agree on how it should be. Left stick move, right stick aim, inverted Y. Should it be the right stick to aim? Should the triggers be up and down? And people just argue back and forth, and people just commit changes. So I sense there that they probably had a similar thing going on, and that we ended up just arguing back and forth about how it should be without a firm direction. And it could also be in the Trials that the editor was not planned to be a released feature till fairly late in the day. And then of course, if you've been using it for 6 months, day in, day out, you'd be used to how the editor worked and its sort of weirdnesses.
So that's one of the things I want to say is, so you've been getting a lot of user help from forums, Twitter, all this stuff like you've been saying, right? What has been, I guess, some of the craziest ideas people have thrown at you that should be in this game that they think, but you're like, no.
I think the main, I'm trying to think of a specific one, the main issues that I have is people ask for things that might seem simple, but are ludicrously difficult. So people say things like, can I have more than one save slot? Answer, yes. I would love to give you more than one save slot, but that means the next version of Fortress Craft would need to move from one file system to the other. The game has sold 750,000 copies. I don't know who this are playing. I have no idea. There's no way I can tell. Let's say 50,000 people. If I mess up one line of code, one character of code, I've just screwed up 50,000 people's worlds. My inbox won't take that. So it's usually people ask me just things that are just impossible or are completely obvious. Yes, I know you'd like to rotate your copy and paste. It's quite hard to do. It's quite hard to write the code. I'm trying to think of anything particularly crazy. Usually I try not to listen to the particularly crazy ones. I don't think I really remember them because I have had some just completely ludicrous ones. One guy who proudly claimed to work for Rockstar until I found that he's like a terrain artist or something. He's like, you should just put vehicles in. I was like, dude, you can't just put vehicles in. That requires a rigid body collision system, it requires a friction system, it requires integration, it requires so much more. I said to him, you're talking about there, you're saying, please just add in this little feature. You're talking about something that would be a USP for a AAA game, and it would take me 6 months to put that sort of thing in.
Well, as soon as you put in vehicle, someone's going to be like, we need Warthog controls from Halo.
Vehicles are certainly planned. I mean, we kind of have a sort of a taste of vehicles with the minecarts. And so there's some of the fundamental code there. But the game is based around 1 meter square of cube blocks. You don't really get vehicles that drive up 3 feet of vertical wall. It would need to be monster trucks or nothing. And I mean big monster trucks as well. I've got some plans for future vehicles, mostly geared towards getting around the world quicker. And maybe, I'd like to sort of look at like little race modes. So you can create a track and then actually have like little Wipeout style ships flying around.
Could you use any of the programming code for the ladders like that? Because technically when you walk against a ladder, you climb, right?
Yeah, I mean, you've got a vehicle doing 50 miles an hour and it needs to go up 1 meter very quickly. If you've got gravity and momentum, the vehicle goes up 1 meter over a 45-degree slope. That vehicle at 100 miles an hour, it's going to sail a very, very, very long way into the air. So it's, I suspect if vehicles come, initially it'll be some sort of hoverboard. That would be my greatest suspicion. You heard it here first.
As long as we can have the power of love in the background, we're good. It has to be pink.
Oh man, I watched Back to the Future, all three of them recently on Blu-ray, and that film's set in 2015, for God's sake. You're like, oh, where's my hoverboard? 2 years, 3 years, I want my hoverboard, tell you.
But my question would be, since talking about the fans here, how many ideal from the fans appeal to your own ideal actually make it into the game, or is it more 50-50, or whatever you think actually would work within the game from the fans' ideals?
I think a lot of the problem with the fans' ideas is they don't think out of the box enough. So people say, hey, you should put zombies in, and I reply with, please pay attention to my video logs. I've already said zombies are going in. Please add in extra word slots. People for the longest time asked me for ladders. I put ladders in and doors. Did I get a thank you? Did I fuck? Now we want slopes. I'm like, how about a thank you for the ladders and maybe a week off? No? Okay. I would say the fans drive me to put the obvious things in that I don't want to put in. Ladders were not in the slightest bit fun to write. They were a huge amount of work. I personally didn't want ladders in the game. I was like, look, you've got a jetpack. What do you want ladders for? But everybody wanted ladders, so the game now has ladders. Custom, completely customizable, unique ladders. Fine. Lots of people are really beginning to want upgrades to copy and paste, so I don't want to touch the copy and paste code. It's a very big, complicated system, but they want it. Whereas my ideas tend to come from completely left field. Like, one day I said, I'm moving the jetpack and I put fairy wings in. And people are like, what? Hey, where did that come from? We thought you were going to put, ladders in or something. So the community tends to push me to do towards the things I should do, whereas my stuff tends to be things that I wake up going, hey, I don't know, I've got a great idea. So I think probably the community probably get more ideas in than I do. I think would probably be fair to say overall.
So I think that kind of answers one of my other questions. I was going to ask why you didn't have technically a floating construction tool. I'm assuming the code just sucks to write. Yeah, like if you put a builder or a digger, it would just go that flies.
Yeah. I could probably find a picture of them. They exist. I haven't got around to implementing them yet. I don't think my artist has finalised it. Code-wise, it's actually pretty easy. It's really quite easy not to make them fall. It's way easier than it is to make them as they currently do. It's just, really it's a question of time. It's a question of priorities. As I said, this is where the community comes in, because if 20 people tweet me saying, we want this, it'll go in. I mean, I received an amazing email the other day. A load of people got together and they asked me for a feature, and I was like, wow, you guys have got really organised. I'm actually genuinely impressed, as opposed to somebody posting random on a forum, hey, I want ladders. But literally, this guy called Walker Jackson, if he's listening, hi, and he got together with a whole bunch of people who signed like a mini petition and sent it to me. But bless them, what did they ask me for? They asked me for zombies, and I was like, I'm already putting zombies in. Ask me something I'm not going to put in. But this is probably the best way. I mean, I do go on the forums, I do pay a lot of attention to the forums, but probably the best way, if there's a very busy thread and everyone's like, hey, this is a great idea, someone send me the link and I'll go and have a look. Overall, I am a horribly and incredibly busy person, and I don't have as much time as I would like to spend with the community. I mean, I do try as much as I can, but, there's a limit to how many hours I can spend in a day doing it. So if there's any cool features people really want, let me know, and I promise to either do my best, put it in, or tell you why that's completely impossible and it will never go in. One of those three.
Well, in that case, I gotta thank you again for coming on the cast. For using up all your precious time.
Well, I'm quite pleased to be here, because you two, I've done a lot of podcasts, I don't know, like 200. Most of them have barely played Fortress Craft, and they'll ask things like, so, how is it different to Minecraft? And I was like, have you played it? Please. You guys actually know what you're talking about, so that's very unusual for me. Very unusual.
Yeah,
well, so much so, like, I've noticed one thing about the community since I joined, I've been trying to teach Troy a little bit and get him to learn some of these people, but you have dedicated fans. Like, since I bought that game, I don't remember how many months ago, like, close to the end of last year, it's been the same group of people I've hung out with on that server that just randomly come in and help me. or they'll be building stuff with, like, regardless. I talked to them and they're like, yeah, we asked for more maps, and, you know, he's busy, he can't do it, it causes problems. So they figured, I don't think you realize it, but the community figured out a way to get multiple maps. It's just jump drives.
Sticks. Yes. Oh, no, that was my idea. I tell people, look, I'm sorry, but for like $2, you can buy a 32 meg USB stick, or 256 meg, sorry, and it's more than enough. And I keep telling people, and please, if anyone's listening, if you have a really awesome, amazing Fortress Craft world you invested hundreds of hours in, for God's sake, back it up, please. Back it up every day. Something I you know, you said why they do this for the Xbox. I wish I hadn't. The Xbox is not what they call it's not a journaled file system. So if I'm writing you do a change to a section of your world, and you click the dash, you lose your internet connection, you lose your power, or the Xbox just goes on the fritz, which they do, you will lose it, and there's nothing I can do to get it back. On Windows, that would never happen. If I'm doing a file right and the computer crashes, it will get through, or it won't get committed, so therefore you don't lose anything. But I say the Xbox it's really not designed for what I've made it do. It really is geared towards quite simple stuff, and I've tried my best. But please, 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 back up your world. Buy a cheap memory stick. Buy a couple. Back up your world a lot, please. And if you lose your world, I am very sorry. And every single patch, I do try and put more and more work into making the game more stable and more secure and less likely to lose stuff. But it does kind of happen.
Which, speaking of, you know, that bot not really being compatible fully for what you're doing, is it any plans or ideal for like bringing this over to? I know PC was in a walk in some of the reviews or interviews I was reading, but any walk on like say iOS or Android, or bring it into any other type of platform?
Have you played Minecraft Pocket?
Is that the one for iPhone?
That's for iOS and Android. Have you played it?
Not yet. It came out
it's shit. Don't go near it. First of all, it's one of the most fucking expensive games I've ever seen, and it's a big pile of shit. They threw out the worst thing. And you know, people have bought it going, oh well, we're going to fix it. That's just my rant. That's not really answering your question. But if you're out there, for God's sake, do not buy Minecraft Pocket until they get off their lazy, fucking overpriced asses and make it good.
I played the demo on my mom's phone, and I kind of gotta agree with you, man.
Well, the thing is, they didn't even add survival in. It's very simple. If you are a Minecraft Pocket player, you want one thing and one thing only. You want to connect over the internet to your server. There's no fucking player out there who plays Minecraft on the phone that does not play it on the PC. Probably there are, that's an exaggeration obviously, but that's what people want. Very simple. Did they give it to them? No. What the fuck? So, in answer to your actual question, I rant, I do that, I'm old.
Hopefully
the next version of Fortress Craft is Content Patch 9. And that's on the Xbox. Now, that will be the last Xbox exclusive patch, unless I really bugger it up. The next patch for the Xbox will be Content Patch 10. That should be more or less simultaneous with the OnLive version. So the OnLive is a cloud-streamed gaming system. I don't know if you've come across it. If not, I highly recommend you check it out. Not just because Fortress Craft will be there, but because OnLive is fucking magic. You play games on state-of-the-art PCs in a data center hundreds of miles away with virtually no lag, and it's just genius. You can like dive in at any point, so you can say, what are all my friends playing, and you get like a view with all your friends online simultaneously showing every game they're playing in real time. You can click and you see it full screen. It's really amazing, and it really is the future. The best thing about it is it's client agnostic, so it runs on PC, Mac, Linux, iOS, Android, and I think BlackBerry, or BlackBerry's coming soon. So Fortress Craft is going onto that platform, and that pretty much means it's on every platform. I have purchased a 24-inch eArmor touchscreen monitor. It's just here, well, so I can touch it as we're talking. I am shortly after Content Patch 9. I need to get my ass in gear, work out the touchscreen schema, and at that point, you'll be able to play Fortresscraft on the PC with your friend who's on his Android phone, with your other friend who's on his Apple phone, with your other friend who's on his Mac. And assuming I can get everything just right, that world should be hopefully able to be run on a dedicated server somewhere. So, you have your world, it's your world for you and your friends, you can access it wherever you are, whenever you are, on any device, and it's there. That's my plan.
Yeah, that doesn't seem to be a very nice walk-around instead of having to program it for everything. But as of right now, do you have actual release date?
I'm not joking when I say they're state-of-the-art PCs. These things are absolute top-of-the-range kick-ass PCs, to the point where your mobile phone is not in the same league. And that's the best bit. So, I can't imagine. I mean, Minecraft, for all its, cleverness, is very graphically simple. Fortresscraft is not graphically simple. We really are chucking around polys to make the Xbox crumble. Your state-of-the-art, your iPad 3 is not far off the Xbox, but your average Android phone is a very long way away from the Xbox power. So, if I was to port the game to Android, for instance, I doubt I could get custom blocks in. And no custom blocks in Fortresscraft is like Minecraft with no survival. And who'd sell that on the iOS market for $9 ago? Oh, right. Hey, maybe I'm doing it wrong. I think I'm a very good businessman. I think I'm a computer programmer, and I should really hire a business manager.
But on the case of online, have a release date for this actually been announced yet?
Yes, it's in 2 days' time, and I'm going to miss it with glorious failure.
I'll be sure to get it video before then.
So I've just finished moving house. I am now in the middle of the country. I was in the north of the country. It's taken a lot longer than I had planned. To a very great degree, I'm the only person who works on Fortresscraft. If I've got to move house, the game has to wait. But the idea was to get it out at the end of April. I don't really want to be pushed into giving a release date at this point, because early next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I will be working on hopefully shipping Content Patch 9 with the zombies. I've then got a 5-day LAN party, which is the multiplayer event, which is the UK's largest LAN party, which I'm appearing at there. And then the week after, OnLive. That's all I'm going to be doing until OnLive is shipped, is the OnLive stuff. It might take a week, it might take me a month, I don't know, but that will be absolutely 100% my focus. So, if it's not out by the end of May, I've probably had to move house again. That's as much as I'm prepared to commit myself to.
So what are we looking forward to in Patch 9?
Patch 9 is the first patch that adds life in. I call them zombies, but that's really shit, and I shouldn't call them zombies, because they're completely customizable. So you can create... I call them zombies. Imagine a zombie. He walks around. It's humanoid. It's got 2 arms, and it lifts up when you get close, and it hurts you. But the trick is, because this is Fortresscraft, because the game is about customization, you can override the legs, the body, and the head, and you can completely customize the characters. So in one of the live streams I was doing, I customized my guy to look like Hitler, and then I put these huge saw blades in the level and just cut up like thousands of zombie Hitlers. It was awesome. There's also, so you've got zombies, you need ways to kill zombies. So with that, the Harrison Axe has been upgraded, so the Harrison Axe now damages zombies and knocks them around. The Harrison Axe is the one you get. I'll say DLC, it's not really. If you've played Steam Heroes, if you bought Steam Heroes, my thank you present to you is you get an axe in Fortresscraft. Until now, the axe has really only just been to sort of wave about, but so I thought it'd be nice if I let that axe smack zombies around. So you really just sort of belt the zombies around the world.
So do you have to have Steam Heroes then to be able to bat zombies around, or?
Yes. Right now, yes. Also, to kill zombies, you've also got gun turrets with like massive miniguns on them. They look awesome. The artist's done a wicked job of modelling those. And you get saw blades. You also get attractors to the zombies. So the idea is that you join a world, and I really hope you join a world and you don't see the zombies. I hope you join a world and what you see there is aliens or monsters or, whatever people come up with. I have a sneaking suspicion you're doing a lot of them, and what you'll see is Steve out of Minecraft. Bet you do. But we did one where one of the testers and I worked on a world practicing this, and it was the one of the sequences from Aliens with the gun turrets pointing on the corridor and the aliens run down. So he made these things that looked like aliens. They didn't look at all like the humanoid characters. And I was actually saying to him, how have you made them look like that? They're supposed to look roughly human. And he explained to me what he'd done. I was like, oh, that's clever. They put all gun turrets down one end, so when you went near the area, all the aliens ran down the corridor and just got mashed up by all the gun turrets. And I really look forward to it, because it means that you can create a world, you can now add danger into your world, you can now also control your world better. So you can forbid clients to use the jetpack. So it means that you can actually create stuff that's geared towards moving around the world, so you can actually have jump puzzles or whatever. And if you want to have danger at the bottom of it, put zombies at the bottom of the pit, bang, anyone falls in the pit, the person dies. So, just think, if I did anything else, then pretty much zombie. I mean, there has been a lot of optimizations, a lot of bug fixes, there always are. Rebuilding spleef arenas is the other one that's been asked for a lot. Again, I didn't want to put it in, but oh my god, do people want auto-rebuilding spleef arenas. So now, when you complete a spleef match, all the blocks that you destroyed, they'll explode into the air, they'll fly around and swirl into a whirlwind, and then the whole thing just rebuilds itself. It looks ever so cool. Hopefully people will be happy with that.
So you're doing all this like zombie, saw blade, turret stuff. What about FPS mode, fight, protect, survive, or I think I heard you call it RPG mode in a video too. Is that been put on hold, or?
Right now, as it stands, I have subscribed. So what's happened is with the zombies and stuff, they kind of came about because OnLive doesn't have any avatar support. So I did the Wanderer, as I explained, and he was kind of there as avatar support. Now, it's my game. It's an idiom. I don't have to answer to them. If I want to put anything in, I can. So one afternoon, I was bored, and I did quite a cool video, which I put up on my YouTube channel, and it was just like, hey, I've just put some zombies in for fun. These aren't going in the game, it's just cool. And I was like, look, you can smack them around, there's loads of zombies, and I was really just testing the rendering system. And I realised at that point that this part of the render didn't work, and that didn't work, and I need to fix this, and that doesn't work, you instant. So I fixed loads of bugs, and it was fine. But loads of people said, hey, we want those in the game. And I was like, really? Because Minecraft's got zombies, and I don't really want to do what Minecraft's done. I don't want to follow Minecraft's footsteps. So I've got my own plans. But everybody wanted zombies, so I was like, okay, I'll put in zombies then. So they've gone in. Now, the good thing about the zombies, and I'm quite proud of this, is, as I said before, some people have played Fortress Craft who are literally physically unable to play your average Xbox game. Hell, I've been playing games 30 years and I'm unable to play some of the Xbox games. They're so unbelievably annoying, like Super Meat Boy or something. So it's very important to me not to put a bar in the way of people, not to say, look, you're not good enough to play this, sorry, go play something that's a bit slower paced. So although the zombies are going in, and the zombies are lethal, if you get trapped with a zombie, you have very little chance of survival. But if you're a server, you obviously get to decide whether or not to put zombies in. If you turn on the jetpack, all the zombies disappear. Your jetpack has become the server toggle for fighting modes. Let's say survival. It's not survival, let's call it survival or creative. You can flip in and out of those modes instantly. And if you're a client and you join a world, if it has no zombies, you can fly around, you can do stuff. If the world has zombies and the server has his jetpack on, you can fly around, you can do stuff. If the server has turned his jetpack off, the server has turned your jetpack off. So what's happened there is the server can expressly say, no, this server isn't about creative, this server is about fighting the zombies. It is about experiencing the story or the world I have created. So, right now, unless you enclose your whole area in, people can fly around your world in any order they like. But now, people can create linear story pathways in their game. And on from that, of course, what's occurred to me is that with Fight, Protect, Survive mode, or RPG, I just switch between the two, or Incursion, which is kind of something else again, they can all fold into one seamless game mode. So you might join a world, and the world is populated by many zombies, and there's fire raining down from the sky, and there's robot wasps fighting you. Because that's what the server wants. That's his choice. Or you might join a world and it's just pixel art. And there's no zombies, there's no wasps, there's no explosions, there's none of the motherships flying around. They don't exist. So what I'm trying to do is make the game both the creative experience and have the option of having a cooperative versus experience, but to do it seamlessly. Which is actually really a pain in the ass. So really what I should have done is release Fortress Craft Zombie, Fortress Craft FPS mode, and actually release all these as separate games, but I appear to be a sucker for punishment. So right now FPS mode is technically on hold, certainly until OnLive has been shipped, because that needs to happen. I've got to really focus on the OnLive one. But once that's out, I'll take stock and see how people feel, because obviously people get their first chance to see mobs and monsters with the zombies, and I really suspect the FPS mode will become an integral part of the game. Very clear, if the server decides it. It's your game, it's your world, I'm never going to dictate to you. I will never ever have it. So, if you don't want unlimited blocks, you can have unlimited blocks. As FPS mode grows, I suspect what will happen is if you switch back into creative mode, FPS mode will have to reset, saying, look, I can't have it, so you can just build 10,000 gun turrets in creative mode and flip back to FPS mode, because that's just stupid. So, it's certainly still there. If you played FPS mode, I really like it. I really have fun watching the wasps wander around and get to you, and once that's a bit more integrated with the game, I think it'd be really cool.
We played it a little bit. We noticed that it was different for the server that we were on. Like, me and Troy were on, and I had wasps attacking me like nobody's business, and Troy couldn't even see them.
That's been one of the big things about FPS, about this patch. Like I said, if on the face of it, it kind of just looks like they're messing about, and I've just said, hey, let's just put a bunch of zombies in, cool. But obviously that's required an awful lot of under the work hood. So what this patch has very much done is I now have the fundamental framework for monsters. So I can add new monsters in very quickly. They use reasonably low amounts of bandwidth. Again, this is one thing where Minecraft scores so high because it runs on a PC. I have to provide you a good game experience and run a server all on one computer. But network syncing the zombies did prove to be quite a challenge. But it should be now that when I come to network sync the wasps or the harvesters, that should just work, I hope.
Nice.
See how that's a guy messing about with zombies? That's awesome. You completely fell for it. Nice. I'm getting good at this.
Yeah. I gotta get through some other stuff. The trees. You just added trees in, I think, patch 8.
3 months ago, or 2 months ago, yes.
Yeah. I was gonna wonder if you're actually gonna make it so you can actually plant them. Nope. Yeah, no, so...
Yes, definitely. We did model it. So the plan is that you can just, throw a seed down and the tree goes... instant tree. Yes, definitely. Planned. Not implemented. I believe we've got the thing modelled. Yes, definitely. I promise. Within 3 or 4 years, guaranteed within that time frame, you'll be able to put trees down willy-nilly.
Awesome.
Copy and paste them.
I guess another question I was going to have was, again, 3 months ago, but you did add, finally, the ability to have, tropical terrain, desert terrain, all of this extra stuff. Have you ever thought about doing just a straight under the ground level with just a elaborate cave system?
Oh man, that'd be really easy. No, I haven't. I'll write that down. I'll write down on this computer.
I was just thinking have something like an ant colony kind of cave system, and you can just spawn in there and then build your house underground.
To be honest, the option's kind of already in there, but I believe I got rid of it because it was a mistake. That's really trivial. It's really very straightforward to do that. All I have to do is just, because you choose the landscape level, all I need to do is just choose the highest level as underground, bang, done. That'll take me about 10 minutes or something. Good idea, nice one. See, that's how you get things in the game. You go, hey, this is a good idea, and as long as I go, hell yes, it will make it in. You watch.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Do you got anything, Troy? Or?
Yes, going back to, Microsoft and the game in general, I have heard, I don't know how true this is or not, but I have heard Microsoft will contact very money-making, indie developer to actually do FBOT Live game or FBOT Arcade game. And I was wondering, have they ever contacted you wanting you to do a port for Arcade or something for them that is a new product?
So Microsoft have contacted me a bunch of times, mostly to say stop doing that. I won't say exactly what they want me to stop doing, but I think on 3 separate occasions I have done things that they would rather I didn't do, and still became the best-selling game ever. So that's great. They've done a little bit of publicity. They always promised that XBLIG was a stepping stone to XBLA. They always said, hey, if your game's really good, we reserve the right to put an XBLA. Fortress Craft equaled the sales, the gross value sales record of the previous record, which was I Made a Game with Zombies in it. That game took like a year to get there. We took like 6 weeks, 2 months to get to that same level. Fortress Craft has really redefined how quickly and how well a game can sell on XBLIG.
I might be saying, one of the things me and my buddies are always talking about with that is the quick play would never show your game, even though all I played for a bloody flippant month.
I think it does now, doesn't it? I think they've changed it in the newer patch. I think indie games listen to quick play.
Yeah, it does now, but originally when it came out, it never did.
I know. I think there's other things. That's certainly one thing. So other things became apparent, and again, Fortress Craft was. So I've done a lot of that. I really pushed the envelope. So, for instance, we're the first game ever, as far as I'm aware, to have more than 25 servers out there. And it becomes apparent that when I say, hello Xbox Live, hello Adam, please list me all the Fortress Craft servers. It goes, here you go, here's 25. Oh, I thought there'd be more. Request again, 25. Request again, 25. I was like, oh, you're returning me the first 25 servers, aren't you? Even more, it's only returning you the first 25 servers from your Gamer Zone. Do you remember the Gamer Zone? Do you remember like 10 years ago when you set up your Xbox Live account? You went, oh no, underground. If you're not on the same Gamer Zone, the servers don't turn up. There's nothing I can do. No one on XBLIG knew this because no one had ever written a game that had any amount of servers before. Microsoft, I asked them about it, whatever. No response. Very, very bad. So, things like, we do get treated as second-class citizens. I cannot get onto or off the system. I'd love to give you dedicated servers, not possible. I'd love to give you cloud storage, not possible. I'd love if the game always had appeared in the quick play system, not possible. I would love it if when your friends were playing, it didn't say, your friend is either, it would say, your friend is playing indie game. Like, oh, come on, give me the name. And if you go to the status, I don't know if you've noticed this, a wonderful bug. Fortress Craft, space chapter, space 1 is the limit of characters you're allowed for a game name. However, if you go to what your friends are doing, you'll notice they are playing Fortress Craft, space chapter, space. Because the limit is 1 less than that. Things like that. Microsoft have never fixed that. Microsoft don't care unless they're made to care. I think we've made them an awful lot of money. I'm kind of surprised I haven't had more contact with them. More, just them going, is there anything we can do to make this sell even more? I tried to get hold of them because I'd like to get avatar gear in. I mean, the things like the tech hacks, things like a lot of our gear in game is, wonderfully modeled by our artist. And I would love to have it as sellable avatar gear. Not for the money, because I just think it'd be awesome to see a screenshot of someone playing a game and seeing wearing the mining helmet from my game. I think that'd be fantastic. But again, I have no response from Microsoft, nothing. And I'm like, how much money do I need to make? Before the end of this year, unless something goes wrong, we will hit 1 million sales. Hopefully we'll be the first game to hit 1 million sales. Total Miner is trying very, very hard to beat us on that one. But we'll see. I mean, say in about 3 weeks, Minecraft hits, and either one of 3 things. Either nothing will happen, or it's the death knell of Fortress Craft, or there's a possibility people are looking at it going, I'm not paying 1,600 points for that. Everyone's talking about it. Why? Oh, have you played Fortress Craft? It's only 240 Microsoft points, and it looks really good, and you can do all this stuff. So, there's a distinct possibility that Microsoft raising the profile of Minecraft will actually help Fortress Craft.
I always thought with Minecraft launching that it's going to end up being whether or not they can host servers and have multiple maps, and if they can't, that will be the death nail.
You won't be able to host dedicated servers. No way. There's no way Microsoft paying for that. That costs money. That costs a lot of money. It'll be the same thing as Fortress Craft. I'd stake my reputation on it. That's okay, I don't have much reputation, so that's all good. The main thing, you can only have 8 players, which is shit. And they've also taken a year to write, no, more than that, they've taken it'll be about a year they've been working on this game, and It's not even the latest Minecraft. It's the I think it's 1.6. It's not even the adventure update, so it won't have Endermen in, or villages, or the dragon, or anything. It's like a really old version of Minecraft. And I just don't get it. I just don't know what the fuck they're playing at. You know, they've got one of the world's best franchises, one of the world's best game names, and they just seem to be doing everything they can to just, well, they are. They throw any old shit and the community buy it.
Well, from what I understand, Mojang isn't actually, like, doing the game. They, like, pawned it off to another company to do it, didn't they?
Yes, it's called 4J Studios. I ran into one of them at a conference and went, hey, you're 4J. And I guess I go, my name's DJArcas, I do Fortresscraft. And he's like, oh, you're doing the Minecraft port? Yeah, I did Fortresscraft. I'm your competitor. But he just didn't want to talk, and it was very weird because usually in the games industry, for all the posturing, I'm good friends with Craig, who did Total Miner. I'm good friends with Digital DNA, who do the Castle Miner games. You know, we talk. As far as we're concerned, it's us versus the consumer. We're all on the same side. We have to go through the same shit. It's only Notch, who isn't a professional dev. He is an amateur dev who got very lucky. He doesn't deal with it in the same way. I mean, I've had all sorts of crap off Notch, and like in the same way, I know like lead programmers, you know, everywhere. I've been in it for a long time. I know people at all of the fucking companies in the world. You know, we have little digs at each other, and they're like, oh, you know, that game sounded shit. Yeah, I know, and things like that. But so Notch considers himself to be above all that, and 4J had obviously absorbed a little bit of that. You know, we're too good to talk to you. You know, we're doing Minecraft. And, well, okay, but you know. It's just 4J, you're a work for hire studio. I mean, I had one of the Mojang employees have a go at me a few weeks ago. They said, oh, it's very sad, all these clones. They don't bring anything new to the table. And I went fucking ballistic at this bloke. I went, what the fuck? And I found out, what was this guy's job? What creative input did he have at Mojang? He's the guy who does the fucking mobile phone port. That's his job. He's a port monkey. And yet he's having a go at Fortresscraft and Total Miner. And I was like, hold on a minute. If you play Castle Miner Z, you run around with a machine gun and blow the shit out of realistic-looking zombies. How the fuck is that like Minecraft? So yeah, Mojang made so much money and they really are off in their own little la-la world. I mean, I've been following Notch's new game and scratching my head with a bit of a who the fuck wants to play that. So we'll see. So I do wish, I hope Minecraft does very well on the Xbox. I like the everything that Minecraft does. Fortresscraft does better. So then, that's where I've always tried. Is I'm going to do the same thing as Minecraft. I'll do the same thing as Minecraft, but better. I think the first thing is, you know, we don't have 8 player support. We've got more than 8 player support. Go us. And we aren't, I don't have the full weight of Microsoft behind me, because I say, it's 4J, who are dedicated work on Minecraft, and it's got all of Microsoft behind it. And they've even dropped Kinect support very quietly, I've noticed as well. And the game keeps slipping, and I just don't quite know what was going on there. Be interesting to find out.
That's interesting, because I didn't hear that they dropped Kinect support yet, because isn't that what they were freaking toting the crap out of before?
Yeah, it's coming soon. I'm like, does that mean that you tried it and it was shit and it didn't work and you don't know what the fuck to put in? I hope everyone forget. I mean, this is something that Notch has been it's quite interesting, because Notch is obviously very quoted on the internet, very full on the internet, and he says stuff and then backtracks and hope no one notices. So, like the bollocks he put on about Steam, because basically Steam don't do Java games, and he said Steam didn't want Java games. And then like 6 months later, he's like, oh no, there's a difference of opinion over the creative and how we control the financials and all that stuff. And you're like, no, there isn't. Look, here's your link where you just said they won't allow Java games. It's been the same thing with this. They promised the fucking earth, and then quietly backed off, quietly changed their mind, quietly said, oh yeah, we're not having that. Yeah, we're not having this. No, it's not, you know, because they promised that they can get updates out, quote unquote, much quicker. I've worked in the AAA industry. If you want a patch, most optimum, a patch will take you 6 weeks to get through and will cost you $25,000 per territory. It is not financially viable to patch a AAA or XBLA game repeatedly. That's why Team Fortress 2 has never had, well, I think it's had like, you know, the free patch, but it's not financially viable to do that. And Minecraft, you know, they keep saying, oh, but it will be patched a lot. And I was like, well, it won't, because not unless Notch starts to pay for it out of his own money, which obviously he's not going to do. But Minecraft is the first of apparently a new breed of games where they have a much quicker patch review process. And I was like, well, okay, doesn't that mean that the game can have bugs in it. Like big bugs. I mean, you've played games. You've played games on release. I assure you, every AAA game you've played has gone through an insane amount of bug testing, peer review, iterations. It's all been there, and yet you still get bugs. And if you're telling me you've squeezed that 6-week bug cycle down to 2 weeks, I don't think I want you to patch my game in 2 weeks, actually. I think I'd like to stick with the 6 weeks. Because, I mean, if they screw that up and they start wiping people's worlds, there's dread to think what's going to happen, if that sort of thing kicks off. So it's going to be interesting to see, because Microsoft want to be a bit more agile on bug fixes, which is good, but I'm not necessarily sure that just simply reducing the amount of time it takes is a good idea. It scares me.
You got any more, Troy?
Nope, I'm out.
Okay,
I can do that. Anything you like. If you give me a subject, I'll rant for 5 minutes, just monologue on, it's cool.
No, more. That's why you're here, man. This is so people can listen to you. So, okay, I'll end it off on a nice, cute little note. Do you think that these voxel-style games, these block-creating games, are basically this new generation's Lego? Because the funny thing is like I'm playing with these Mega Blocks with my 2-year-old daughter, and I made a duck in no time. And it's like, even my mother-in-law's like, how did you do that? I play a lot of Fortress Craft. What do you want from me?
Oh, man, that's awesome. I hope so. I mean, I grew up playing with Space Lego. I'm old. This was the
Intron and stuff.
No, Lego. So it was Space Lego. That was the bunch. You had City Lego and you had Space Lego. And I played with that a lot. I mean, I played with Space Lego for thousands of hours. Now, right now, so on my desk, within reach, I can touch my Lego Zombie, my TIE Interceptor, and my Harry Potter bus, all made out of Lego. Now, it's funny you say it, because I was at a Lego store quite recently, and I was watching kids building little voxel art, and I was like, hang on, they're building voxel art. Yeah, Lego. I was like, well, that's, and it never clicked quite how similar Fortress Craft and say Lego and building blocks can be. The difference is, in Fortress Craft, you can make a copy of it. You can copy and paste. You can walk around it. You can share it with your friends. I mean, I've got this awesome Harry Potter Lego bus. It's, it's the night bus. It's triple decker. It's purple. But if I want to show it to you, I can't. Well, you'd have to come round, or I'd have to take a bunch of photos. And it's all very intricate detail. It's got it's got a treasure chest with socks in it. It's, it really pays attention to the Harry Potter story. But I can't show you that. You'd have to play with it for ages. Whereas Fortress Craft lets you do that same thing. You create your spaceship or your Harry Potter Lego bus, and then you can share it with people. And I'd love to think that this creativity pushes the destructive games out a bit. There's too many racing games on the consoles. There's far too many fucking first-person shooters. Jesus. I'm just so sick of them, and they don't really offer much new. They're kind of just variations on a theme. But Minecraft never gave you that sharing opportunity. The closest it came was YouTube videos. It never actually had the way of joining people's servers. You could only join your friends' servers because there wasn't a browsing option. So that's where I say Fortress Craft hopefully has really made its mark, is that you can browse the world, you can filter the worlds. So in the next patch you'll be able to filter worlds by zombies, things like that. And I look forward to seeing what people create, and I really hope somewhere there's some people in the world who have never played Lego. I don't know. I mean, I grew up with Lego. I'm not 10 right now. If I was 10, hey, if you're 10 and you're listening, email me. Did you play with Lego? I don't know. I'd hope so. My parents bought me a lot of Lego, and I spent, a lot of time being creative. And it did cross my mind that, there's a whole generation of Xbox gamers who don't have PCs. I know they're out there. I get so many bug reports from people taking photos of their Xbox screen and emailing me the bug report from their phone because they don't have a PC and they don't have an email account. I was like, wow, these people really exist. And I wonder if those people also, whether Fortress Craft or Minecraft or Total Miner or Castle Miner Z, has been their first taste of a creative experience. And so that's why I don't really want to say, Minecraft tried to become Skyrim with voxels, and I don't really want to go down that. I very much want to allow people to create stuff and do that as well as I can. And so every time I see a YouTube video about Fortress Craft, or every time I see someone create something amazing in it, it really makes it all worthwhile. Especially when I see a video and I have to comment going, how did you do that? This one guy sent me a world. He goes, my world keeps crashing. And he's like, okay, so I instructed him how to rip the world off the Xbox, email me the world, got the world on my PC, and the game crashed immediately. I was like, okay, so fix it. And then I got the game running, and I was like, how the fuck did... He created accurate buildings, and I don't just mean 1M3 blocks, I mean accurate, it's called Dutch railings. So he had the building, and then he had all of the fretwork and all the arches and all the support, and it seriously looks like, well, it looks about as good as Elder Scrolls 3 did, and it amazed me that he did that, and I had to go back to him going, how long did you spend? And he's like, I don't know, 3 or 4 days, and I was like, if you don't mind, I'm going to use your world as the demo world, as the world to say, when people say to me, oh, it's just Minecraft, going, right, does this look like Minecraft? And it's been quite funny because I've emailed these pics to Mojang every time they have a go at me, and they haven't replied. I think they're looking at it going, oh shit, we should have kept our mouths shut. That's my hope anyway.
I think I want to get emailed these pics.
I will look them to you, so feel free to stick them in. I'm quite organised, it's all on my blog, so I'm getting slowly organised, and they say it's the first time... How can I put it? So, writing your own indie game, you kind of realise that I can do whatever I want, but that doesn't necessarily mean that what I'm doing is a good idea. So I've had to, learn how to organise a community, learn how to communicate with people, and to get organised. So when people say to me, hey, Minecraft looks like Fortresscraft, I link them these pictures that I've just sent you there, saying, really? Really, really, really? Are you telling me that looks just like that? Are you telling me that one is a carbon copy of that one? Because, as far as I'm concerned, the one on the left looks like Minecraft and looks terrible, and the one on the right, I don't know what that looks like. That doesn't look like voxels. That looks like an art package. That looks like someone's modelled that somewhere. And those are the pictures, those are the 2 pictures I post everywhere, is the direct comparison. No one talks about the fact that Notch has seen quite a lot of Fortresscraft and quietly pinched it. So we had things like grass first, he pinched that. We had the map first. We had coloured lighting first. We had the jetpack first. And Notch has very quietly just popped those in over the time. But of course I get accused of copying those out of Minecraft, even though we did them first. People are funny.
Indeed. Seems like a good place to end. I want to thank DJArcas again for coming on the podcast.
It's been fun.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. And
this is the point where you ask me if I have anything else I'd like to say.
yeah, no, well, we're going to wait to say.
Well, there is one thing I'd like to say. 2 things. Firstly, thank you for having me on. I hope you follow me on Twitter. Sometimes I say something that's funny. But when my next game comes out, can I come on and talk about that? Because Fortresscraft sold itself. I can say it's like Minecraft but better, but my next game, I believe, is about 1,000,000 times better. But I'm going to have a hard time selling it, so I'm going to try and go on everywhere. So you guys have been awesome, and I'd love to come back and tell you all about my new game when it's ready.
Yeah, we will.
That would be awesome. I'm pretty sure we can try and filter it down through some of the other podcasts.
No, that'd be great.